Aloha and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. I'm Lama Tashi. We present this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock. It's recorded and put on our website for people that view in different time zones around the planet, kauaidharma.org. When we do these classes, we're using all of these methods as a mind training program in what I call Bodhisattva Training. The word Bodhisattva means taking all of the teachings of the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and each of us discerning for themselves with the help of the teachers, lamas, how to use these to heal our body, speech, and mind, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, the word healing sums up all of Buddhism, but in particular, Tibetan Buddhism. And these methods are all presented in the Sutra and Tantra tradition as symbols. Now, symbols have been a way of life for me since I was very young, through other traditions such as American Indian, and then Catholic tradition, and then Hindu and Sufi and so forth. And then now with my Root Lama introduction in 1977 to the Tibetan shamanistic tradition of Lamaism. The word Lama simply means two words, honorable mother. And that's appropriate for all of these teachings and how we apply them to sentient beings as our mothers. And when we do this, we're entering into a sphere of infiniteness. Just the word sentient beings implies infinite, because the sentient beings are numberless. And they're throughout space. There's an infinite number of humans, animals, spirits, which are the three categories of sentient beings, and they are everywhere in the universe. When we use that as a reference, it raises the thought of compassion or concern for the well-being of others. Because each and every sentient being has some form of suffering, physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. And the Dharma is designed through the Buddhist teachings and how it was transmitted through India, Tibet, and now to the whole world, how to deal with that, pacify what we call the conflicting emotions, which are the cause of suffering, and eventually remove ourselves from this state. And what I just said is called the Four Noble Truths of the Buddhist teachings. That there is suffering, there's a cause of this suffering, there are methods to remove these states of pain and suffering. Therefore, there's an end to suffering. And that end of suffering, we use the term enlightenment. Now, enlightenment simply means to understand clearly the true nature of your mind and the true nature of everything in the world around you, and how to use that information, those methods of knowledge and understanding, to deal with your own situation and skillfully others, alleviate the pain and suffering of others. And in the highest level of intelligence that we are acquiring, which is the natural state of our consciousness, that becomes the whole theme of what we are doing. And therefore, when you leave this body, which is an event that's determined to happen, you move into another dimension of being, similar to the dream state that we entertain at night through sleep. And the similarity of the dream state to the next life is so that we can relate now and prepare for how we want to be in that next state of being. In the present state, the symbol that we use, and there are 8 of them in Tibetan Buddhism, they're called the 8 auspicious symbols. One of the symbols is an 8-spoked wheel. It's called the 8-spoked wheel of the Dharma. And it has many interpretations. Basically, it's your body, speech, mind, qualities, and activity moving with the help of the Dharma through the Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana techniques of Sutra and Tantric practice. The center of this is to deal with ignorance, not knowing, not understanding. And around it are 3 squiggly lines coming out to this sphere of influence. And those are attachment, aversion, and ignorance. With these 3, we form this wheel of karmic influence that the wheels, the spokes themselves, coming from this central hub, translate into praise and blame, disgrace and fame, pleasure and pain, loss and gain. Then the outer sphere is the reference to the beings we have karma with and the universe. And simply put, this is friends and enemy. And then the final outside wheel, there are 3 hubs on this wheel, is the judgment, mind's judgment habit of prejudging everything even before it arises. And this judgment, or judgmental mind, is called also the drama mind. And it evolves from this center outward through these 8 worldly activities: praise and blame, disgrace and fame, pleasure and pain, loss and gain. And all of us have this involvement with this drama of those 8 worldly dharmas. So, symbols. Symbols help us to understand, but more importantly, the color codes of the symbols coming in through our eyes and the sounds through our ears of the teachings are just the natural sounds of the world around us, cause this functional part of our anatomy, the brain, to cause secretions, where they say light emanations that go through our whole cell structure of our body. And so when we do the Dharma, we are influencing this mechanism of our body to secrete healthy. And tonight we're going to do the practices that greatly stimulate that state of good health. Other symbols are the symbols of the Sanskrit language we use in the practices of creating chakras within the body and identifying with the various deities that we do, or the elements themselves. But the symbology of the natural mind is based on the symbology of your body and the world around you, which is called the elemental symbols: earth, water, fire, air, space. And these elemental symbols we're using all the time, these elements. They can't be separate. These 5 elements, if you have one, you have all 5. But some get out of balance, or some are more important for healing as an element than others for applying to healing modalities to symptomatically, and in some cases take care of the cause, the causal situation. I'm going to show you a symbol, and it was given to me by one of my students, and it's actually made out of incense, and it's stacked, and the corresponding influence is the size, but more importantly is the color code of the ribbons around each level. So this bottom one is the 5 elements of this base is earth, then water, then fire, then air, then space, and they're color coded according to those elements. Those same color codes we use in our 5 elements healing meditation, and in Taoism they're applied to meridians of the body and other healing applications. But this same color code has to do with the mind's influence of the 5 states of wisdom that we all possess. It's called our Buddha nature, or our enlightened nature, or states of higher intelligence, another way to understand it. And they are corresponding to the element. So if you say earth, you're talking about here we are. That's called discerning awareness. And this discerning awareness is how to use this natural state of your mind, which is emanating from the 5 elements of your body and producing in your consciousness, inside, these 5 states of wisdom, which are called awareness. So this awareness of discerning awareness is very important, because it helps you to understand this natural state that we possess, called our Buddha nature. Then the second state is the Rotna Principle. And this energy field is leveling the playing field. It's calling everything equal. Everything is just energy, light and space. That's what everything exists at. How we interpret that is through the 5 elements and through our 5 senses, and how we think. The third level, oh, by the way, that's called the state of equality or equanimity. The third level has to do with the fire energy, is the clarity of the mind without the habit of judgmental programming, without the habit of emotionally acting, involving ourselves or acting with attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, stupidity, and so forth. The fourth level is the activity of what we do as the shamanism. Bodhisattvas, with the guidance of the guru, the lama, the teacher, sensei, or whoever, goes into activity with the body, speech, and mind to bring these higher states of awareness or wisdom into our present situation. And the top one is the interconnectedness, knowing that everything is totally interconnected to one's individual state of being or presence. So each of these are color-coded so that when we use these in practice, say as the elements, we're actually connecting to these 5 states of awareness through these elements and through meditation practice and states of contemplating the basic energy of everything, light and boundless space. That said, we'll take refuge. So there are many, many, many symbols to help us deal with our present karmic state of conflicting emotions and the tendencies that we've brought forward to this life from previous life. We start with the altruistic motivation that we are doing these practices for the benefit of all sentient beings throughout the universe as one family. And that motivation is unique in Tibetan Buddhism because it's the basis of what we call altruistic compassion and unconditional love as the theme of all of what we do. Our relationships with ourselves, others, and the world around us. It goes like this. In order to attain enlightenment for myself and limitless sentient beings, my mothers, we now all together take refuge and when possible offer prostrations. The word enlightenment simply means to gain clarity in the mind's activities and deal with the expressions of our sensual body and its needs. So when we say we now all together, you're entering into a field of, as I said before, infiniteness. And when we use the word enlightenment, that indicates limitless possibilities to heal and perfect our situation, our mind. Then we take refuge with the support of all the Dharma, of Buddhism, and in particular Tibetan Buddhism, as it's presented in the modern day. And we do that by taking refuge in all the lamas, all the teachers of this tradition, who are all trained in the two natures of consciousness and how to use them. We take refuge in all the Idams, who are the deities gathered in the more advanced states of our practice as bodhisattvas. We take refuge in all the Buddhas, those who have conquered the mind and gone beyond into higher states of awareness. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma, which is all the Sutra, Tantra, and teachings on voidness that connect the Sutra and Tantra traditions and methods. We go for refuge to all the noble Sanghas, all the lamas, and other teachers that know the two natures of mind and how to present the appropriate methods to us humans. We go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis, who are the protectors and defenders of these wisdom states. All of these, all 6, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama, Deity, and Protector, present the eye of transcending awareness, which is higher states of intelligence to deal with our worldliness. That said, then we move into the Bodhisattva training called Bodhicitta, with this prayer. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, they're talking about the 6 refuges, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, called the 6 perfections, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. So we have the motivation, the support, and the actual practice of body, speech, and mind to get the result. And those results don't have a ceiling. We don't need a goal. The practice, the basis of the practice, and the fruit of the practice are all interconnected. They all happen simultaneously for each individual or group that performs these methods, these practices. I'm going to chant what I just said in Tibetan, starting with the altruistic motivation. And the Sanskrit language is the common transference method used to all the cultures of the planet, so that each and every group of humans on the planet has this at their disposal, can use it. First, for all humans and the spirit world, the altruistic motivation. Dog dong dro wa nam ke tha dong yam pe sem chem tam che du di ne ju te chi si jang chu ning po la chi ki bar du. Then the support. Paul Dan Lama Dampa Nam La Chab Su Chio Yedam Chokor Gi Latso Nam La Chab Su Chio Sanjay Chong Den De Nam La Chab Su Chio Dampe Chur Nam La Chab Su Chio How big and doom nam la chap su shio. How wo kandro chokyum sume sho yesheki. Shendong dempa nam la chap su shio. Then the Bodhisattva Training Prayer. Sanjay Chodam Choki Chodam La Jang Chu Bardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Nagi Jinso Chi Pe Sonam Ki Jolam Penjur Sanjay Drew Parsho. To the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama, deities, and protectors who go for refuge in order to being all beings are mothers to the highest level of Buddhahood or enlightenment. Through the practice of the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, generosity, morality, ethics, and good manners. Number 3, patience. Number 4, diligence or perseverance in these practices. Number 5, meditative accomplishment. And 6, directly connecting to the natural state of highest awareness of our innate natural mind. That's called insight. Generosity, morality, patience, perseverance, meditative focus, and insight. Then that's the first 6 levels of accomplishment of Bodhisattva training. And they're applied both on the worldly level and the wisdom level of our existence, of our consciousness. The higher levels of consciousness are attained with the help of the Lama as the deities, using the symbols of the peaceful deities, which is called the path of skillful means. And then with the peaceful deities as the basis, presenting the protector deities to deal with the energies of the spirit world, which are in most cases violent, and the world around us of humans and animals, which in most cases can be violent, in some cases. So that is number 7 and 8. The peaceful deities are level 7, and the protector deities number 8. Then the 9th level is aspirations. What are you going to do with this now? Not only now, but in the future, in the next life, and so forth. And later in this class tonight, or towards the end of the class, we will do some aspiration prayer presented by our teacher. The 10th level is timeless awareness, which relieves us from the element of time, which is actually a human creation. The universe doesn't do that. It's a beginningless, endless operation system. And the past, the present, and the future isn't a concern of the universe. And certain states of existence also, for instance, in the dream state and the spirit world, certain states of the spirit world. And so I'm just bringing this out, that this timeless awareness means be able to stay in the present without being distracted from previous events or future occurrences. Once these 10 Bodhisattva training methods are put together, both on the worldly level and on the wisdom level of your natural mind, you're a Buddha. That you already were a Buddha. You already are a Buddha. But the word Buddha means when what appears and actually exists in a state of truth, not worldly truth, not relative truth, but ultimate truth. There's nothing beyond that. And that means that you can relax. There's no heavenly state to attain or some goal to accomplish. You can relax and be with who and what you are in the present moment, timelessly. It's as simple as that. And we call that enlightenment. And that is why we take refuge, so that we have help in doing this, because it's impossible to do it on your own. 5 elements make up your body and everything in the world around you and everything you think of. These same 5 elements cause 5 ultimate truths to arise to deal with the drama of praise and blame, disgrace and fame, pleasure and pain, loss and gain, friends and enemies, good and bad, and all that. So let's start with practice. In these times, we introduce, through my teacher, Kala Rinpoche, and other teachers, what is called the 3 lights meditation. And the real purpose of these 3 lights is not only for healing through your sensual situation, but also to connect to the elemental world in a way that speeds up the healing process of everything you're doing already involved with these elements, through eating, sleeping, activity, relationships, and so forth. So first we'll do the 3 light prana yoga practice using the breath. Then we'll connect with using that as the basis for the healing method of the 5 elemental meditation practice. We sit in the 5 mudras with the back straight, hands in a comfortable position, either on the knees or in the lap. Mouth closed, tongue resting against the palate. Eyes open with a soft gaze to the space directly in front. Head slightly tilted forward. Then you bring your awareness, your consciousness, to your breath. As you inhale, the diaphragm expands. As you exhale, it contracts. Totally spontaneous. Bringing your consciousness to this activity, as you inhale, you visualize, using the mental process of imagination, that the air you're inhaling as the 5 elements appear fills your lungs with white light, which is the natural energy of the universe itself. Then you visualize the air that you are inhaling as white light into your lungs transforms spontaneously to the energy that pervades every cell in your entire body. Then you bring the code of these 2, the white and the red energies, together and visualize blue light out your nose as a healing breath to infinite beings throughout space, like the sky. Inhale white light, fill your lungs. Absorption breath or middle breath, red light through your body to every cell. The combination of these 2 to produce the blue light out your nose to space. Boundless space. Infinite light energy in, infinite application within your body, and infinite potential or results to the universe around you. With this practice, you start to experience a settling activity within the body and your consciousness, your mind. Withdrawing the focus from worldly activities, you start to enjoy a state of peace and tranquility. Sunyata. This state of calm abiding becomes the basis for all the methods of meditation practice. Starting with the 5 elements healing meditation. To practice and accomplish this, simply take your mind off the breath, gather the 3 lights, white, red, and blue, into one tiny tigli, it's called, one tiny particle, visualized in the center of your chest, in the central channel of your life force. And this simple light energy, bindu it's called, spontaneously connects, as does all light, to the infinite light produced throughout the fabric of boundless space. Simply be present and relax for a few moments in that dimension of your being. Space. Keeping the mind to the present greatly influences the results. Produced in this 5 elements healing method. Then bringing focus and imagination together, again, meditating on the bindu, that tiny particle of light in the center of your chest. Visualize it to expand into a small sphere of clear light. Entering into our 3-dimensional world of light energy, you now produce, as this little sphere expands in size, one of the 5 elements that you wish to use for your particular needs. Tonight, I'm going to pick the space element, which of course is all 5 because it can't exist without earth, water, fire, and air. The mother element of space represents infinite potential. Boundless. And it is the basis of our natural state of awareness or consciousness. We call the unconditional. And as it expands, it creates this small white sphere symbol in our heart center labeled space. And as I said before, symbols are absolutely necessary in mind training until you reach the natural state of your consciousness where they don't exist. This small white sphere, color-coded white, labeled space, visualize it to move out in front of your body from your heart chakra and up before your eyes about 2 feet in front. And you are actualizing what you are imagining. Then with your imagination, expand it in size to create a sphere of energy around you as large as the room you're in, or like a large bubble. Keep the color code white and have this appear at least beyond your fingertips of your arms extended to each side. And sit with this as an absorption process of the healing energy of space itself, which in its infinite proportions is applied both to your mental process and your physical body. Then keeping imagination and focus together, expand it in size to completely enclose a large area of where you are. Your city, your town, countryside, or here in Hawaii, we use the island of Kauai and surrounding ocean enclosed in this symbol. In that way, we're sharing it with the beings that inhabit our neighborhood, our area of life. Then imagine it to grow in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere. Again, you are actualizing what you are imagining, or what you are imagining is actual. Then increase it in size to completely enclose the solar system, planets, sun, everything for billions of miles in diameter inside. Expand it in size to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. Influencing trillions of planets, and billions of suns. Then move beyond the confines of your mental process to merge it with the actuality of boundless space, our universe. Remaining present, relax. No meditation, simply contemplate the infinite potential of space itself. Being present in this part of the meditation helps you to accept the quality of timelessness. Then again return to the meditation by enclosing the spiral dish-shaped galaxy with this symbol of space. Reduce it in size to just enclosing the solar system. Smaller and smaller to just enclosing Mother Earth. Then to just the island of Kauai and surrounding ocean or the area where you are practicing. And extremely small to just enclosing your physical body. Seeing yourself just as you are inside this white sphere of light, symbolic of space. The total life support system of the entire universe concentrated into your physical form. Psychically applied. Then end your practice by bringing the sphere to its original small size in front of your eyes. Chest level and into your heart chakra. To its smallest point imaginable, similar to an atom. And relax as it generates a complete connection to space itself. Boundless in nature without a center. In Buddhism, this is called vipassana. In shamanistic Buddhism, Sanskrit word is latong, natural mind. In spiritual terms, non-judgmental mind. Then bring this awareness and its results to in front of your eyes and share it in the area of your practice. Dedicate the merit to all sentient beings, your mother. In presenting the 5 elements, my Guru Lama Kalu Rinpoche, when he taught us 50 years ago in Maui, in large groups, it was actually an introduction of how we use all the methods of Tibetan Buddhism, starting with the 5 Bodhisattva, 6 Bodhisattva practices, and then entering into the peaceful and protector deities and all of that. Is each element has its own structure already in place in your body and in the world around you, and the color codes are already there. Predominantly here in Hawaii, we have on the land a lot of green. In the ocean around us, a lot of blue and white. The sky, blue and white. And then the beautiful elements in the ocean turn into the other color codes of red, yellow, green, blue, and rainbow effects. The rainbow itself is actually a symbol. And when we generate these, this is called rainbow application. The rainbow exists, we can see it. And that's all. It's totally illusory. It's a light energy program produced by the elements themselves. Beautiful in nature, but illusory in application. So we use these 5 symbols that they were introduced for healing purposes in the same way you're healed in nature by experiencing the color codes and energy of the natural world around you. The earth itself, the sky, and all that appears. Then those 5 color codes become the same color codes for the introduction of the 5 wisdom states. Now these wisdom applications can be interpreted more easily with the term intuitiveness, or in spiritual terms, omniscience, which means not only all pervasive, but all knowing. And the knowledge that arises by using these 5 symbols as 5 spheres is not only in their application through practice with deities and their mandalas, but also with the understanding of their usefulness as to healing physically, mentally, emotionally, and how they are spiritually. So when we do these practices, the actual guidance comes from the teacher who is already using these codes, these mind training methods. So the mind, body, and speech of the guru in this case Lama, is transmitted with light energy, a light energy program that started in our age with Shakyamuni Buddha 2,600 years ago, practiced in India up until the 8th century, and now at that time introduced to all of the Himalayan tribes from Bhutan to Kashmir, Nepal, Sikkim, Ladakh, all of that, into Tibet, Mongolia, Eastern China, Western Russia. Then spread. Now today, because of the extreme situation of 8 billion humans on the planet, greatly disturbing the environmental situation, they are even more necessary. And so we have this drama worldwide, but now we have the Dharma worldwide. So we have a global influence to counteract the conflict that is going on from the destruction of our environment, the earth, water, fire, and air elements that make up our ecological situation. To deal with that, to bring healing, not only individually and collectively to us, but to the environment. So yes, we have to deal with spirits, we have to deal with animals, we have to deal with humans. If we don't, it's not Dharma. That all-pervasive situation is the core of the altruistic motivation. And the environment is a living being of support for all of us. So yes, we have a code. Yes, we have a moral, we call it moral obligation. Morality, the second level of Bodhisattva practice, is about the environment. And it's very simply put. And this morality is applied ethically and with good manners, according to where you are and what culture and your relationship. And it's very simple. Don't harm yourself. Don't harm others. And don't harm the environment. That's it. Everything we do is based on those three moral obligations. Yes, there are rules. Yes, there are things not to do and to do, and all of that depends on your own situations, involvement, how you are as a spiritual person. Are you yogi and yogini, secluded in nature or a monastery or nunnery? Are you an individual householder? Are you an individual, neither one of those? Are you a yogi and yogini practicing as a recluse? So each one of us, with the guidance of the teacher, determines how we individually and in groups use these methods to deal with our modern day worldly situation. Tonight we're going to do the practice of Manjushri, which we've done many times in this class. And everybody, a lot of people say, why do we keep presenting these methods over and over like Chenrezig? Well, Chenrezig is the basis of peaceful and wrathful deity yogas, all of them. If you don't accomplish Chenrezig, you can't do, for instance, the protector practice of Mahakala and other protective practices. If you don't do the practice of Tara, you can't attain the correct involvement with even the 5 elements, which the Tara is the representation of the environment and the outer world, connecting to the wisdom nature of your Buddha nature. Manjushri is introduced as a form of the Chenrezig, where compassion, power, and insight must be established as the criteria for your body, speech, and mind. Those 3 qualities are present in all Bodhisattva training and in all the highest awareness of the Buddha field. Power, you can get stuck right there without the guidance of a teacher. Compassion, without that guidance, you wouldn't know how to apply it skillfully to others in the environment. And that includes unconditional love. Insight is the true nature of your mind and the world around you, how it really is, and how you can use that with whatever activity you find yourself involved with. And Manjushri is like Google, because it brings out that knowingness as a practice. Knowledge and understanding are absolutely necessary to gain insight. All the experiences along the way are only experiences moving you more and more into that field of insight. The emotional conflict arises as you perform these practices. It's innate, it's part of our evolution that's unnecessary. Emotions, passion, judgment. Even in Buddhism, various forms of Buddhism, they're a hindrance. But in the shamanistic tradition of where we are using it, they are useful. Anger is useful. Lust is useful. Greed is useful. Ignorance is useful. Jealousy, envy, feeling less than, useful. Because they're just energy. So when you use Manjushri, you start to understand just that. And that allows you to settle even more. Relax even more. Be present even more. And as you more and more become these natural states, you evolve. Your mother wanted this for you. My mother she wanted me to grow, develop, and evolve into a mature person. And so we practice. To do Manjushri, there are 3 factors associated with your body, speech, and mind. Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana Buddhism are the methods of the Sutra tradition to cause those 3, compassion, power, and insight, to arise from the practice itself. The most important is insight, which is Manjushri's total knowledge program. It's so useful that, for instance, you can use it in worldly activities, like to find out information of things you need to do, or how to get money, or how to find your car keys if you lost them, and things like that, worldly application. But in the use of the deities, of which Manjushri is one of 2,000 applications of your Buddha nature, it's most for the attainment of being able to be what you already are, a totally enlightened body of energy, human in nature. And just to let you know, only humans can do this. So this is specifically for all 8 billion of us on the planet today. Sit with your back straight, hands on your knees. Head slightly tilted forward, mouth closed. Head slightly tilted forward, eyes open in front. Pick up the energy of space and light right here. Access it through your pituitary and pineal glands into your body as healthy energy, secretion. Nadis are called nadi, channels. Breathe. Using the 3 lights practice as before, we're just going to add the vibration. The second word of Buddha is how things vibrate. The first word, Bu, is about how they appear, sensually, mentally. So the vibration is the mantra of the deity, and it starts with the seed level of the creation of this energy program of deity yoga as the total wisdom energy of your natural mind. So that you can use all of the drama energy as a support. Ooh. Now, how do you use anger? And in the world today, how do you use greed? It dominates all society, all levels of society. How do you use desire, lust, jealousy, envy, ignorance? Ignorance, many labels, ignorance, stupidity, bewilderment, not knowing, dumb, stupid, ignorant. So Manjushri is the key. And it works. But you have to practice it. So with your back straight, eyes open, all of that, focusing on your breath. We start with the 3 lights meditation, inhaling white light into your lungs. Hear the sound, Om. That's the vibration of the energy. As it permeates your body with red light, visualize you hear the sound, Ah. That's the vibration of energy. And as you exhale blue light to space, you hear the sound, Hum. That's the healing result of this energy. The life support, the purpose of the universe. Inhale white light, fill your lungs. Pause and allow red light to flash through every cell in your body. Hear the sound, Ah. With the white light coming into your lungs, you hear the sound, Om. These 2 codes, white and red with Om and Ah, produce the blue light. Exhale out your nose with the sound, Hum. Hum relates to all the healing energy of all the practices taught by the Buddha and all the Lamas. Do that. Inhale white light, hear Om. Energy absorption through your body, ah. Feel it. Both together out the nose as blue light produces Hum. Universal healing. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Then you purposely connect to the Lama. Man or woman is a representation of all of these methods by all the lineages of the Buddha's doctrine from the original teacher Shakyamuni down to the present day. Every practice supports every other practice, and they're all equal in nature as mind training. Once you've accomplished this breath with the 3 sounds and the 3 color codes, then receive the transmission with the Lama in front. Life size, presenting the transmission from the Lama's forehead as white light into your head, into your brain. And this so you can properly visualize the symbols presented, in this case, Manjushri. Then red light from the Lama's throat is the energy of the energy of the sound, how it not only permeates your body, but influences your exhale, your speech. Then light, blue light from the Lama's heart chakra to your heart is the wisdom transmission of your natural mind and all of that and how to use it. Greatly increasing your intelligence level into a state of timeless evolutionary being. In this way, worldly intelligence, awareness, is transformed into beyond worldliness intelligence. So that the two mix naturally. Then you see the 3 lights emanating from the Lama's 3 places, head, throat, and heart chakra, into your 3 places, and you receive the 4th empowerment. It's called union. And all the methods of Tibetan Buddhism are to bring the union of your body, speech, and mind into that place in your heart chakra. So the Lama simply melts into you. They say like water into water. Natural. With this transmission, you are ready to do any deity yoga, but particularly tonight, Manjushri. And so you see yourself as this deity, as the body, speech, and mind of the Lama, inseparable. Then with the three lights established within the central channel of your life force, the white light in your head with the vibration Om, the red light in your throat chakra with the vibration of Ah, and the dark blue light in your heart chakra with the vibration of the healing Hum. See the white light move down the central channel and merge with the red light in your throat, and those two together down into your heart chakra, into the blue Hum. And these three together produce the creation sound of the deity. The vibration energy is D, which is the Sanskrit word for light. It's the second word of Buddha and Bodhi. As Manjushri, you see yourself as a three-dimensional hologram, illusory in nature, but all-pervasive. And to be all-pervasive, you simply project it by visualizing your mother in front as a mirror image of your being Manjushri. Equal. Then all mother sentient beings, father, friends, relatives, enemies, pets, every being you have a karma with, this and past life. Then you project it to all the humans on the planet, today 8 billion, as Manjushri. Then to all the animals in the ocean and on the land. So you have a larger and larger area in your mind projected out, like you did the 5 elements practice. Then you include all the spirits infinite in number throughout space, the 4 spirit worlds, as Manjushri. So all these beings become your family, infinite in number, in your mind. When your mind is filled with the totality of this mandala that you are creating, the heart mantra appears inside a 5-colored sphere of light about the size of your thumbnail in your heart chakra. The D is the central figure, and in Sanskrit it is red and looks like this. And I put it under the empty mirror on this taka of the deity, and he is shown with the sword, blazing sword raised in the sky, which symbolizes cutting through ignorance, egocentric, dualistic fixation. And the left hand holding with thumb and ring finger holding the stem of a lotus blooming by the left ear, symbolizes taking birth in the human condition, with the heart sutra resting on the lotus. And the heart sutra simply states the true nature of mind and everything as light. Form is light. Light is form. Mentally, physically, spiritually. The mantra is declared as the syllables of the deity as body, speech, and mind in action, and they face outward around this D with the Om in front. Om, R, letter A, Ra, R-A, Pa, P-A, Sa, T-S-A, Na, N-A, D, the key syllable D, D-H-I, Soha. The Soha attached to this mantra means it's always increasing. Everybody gets it. All spirits, all animals, and all humans enter into this mandala of Manjushri, are the deity. The Buddha field of Manjushri is the same as Chenrezig, Amitabha, the Buddha of infinite light. And that's where the word enlightenment comes from, because everything is that. Visualizing yourself and all beings as Manjushri with the mantra Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. You chant that mantra to activate this vibration with your voice in your body and in the world around you, the environment and the beings in that environment, spirits, animals, and humans. Start with the D in red in a 5-colored light. Then do the mantra Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Now the D is a symbol. The mantra has 6 key symbols in Soha as it spreads everywhere. Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di. And it has the deity as a symbol, with the 5 jewel crown being the 5 states of awareness of the 5 dhyana Buddhas, 5 kinds of silks as the 5 symbols of the 5 elements, 6 kinds of jewelry, the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, legs in full lotus, you're disciplining the body and mind together. Sitting on a lotus sun and moon seat, this is only applicable to bringing humans to realize their true nature, and eventually bringing all spirits and animals back into the human condition so they too can enjoy this feast. On a lotus sun and moon seat, which is the key life force of our immediate environment, the sun and the moon, lighting up the darkness of our sphere, for instance, our solar system, but our minds and bodies at the same time. And the lotus itself is the energy of the heart chakra expressed as Prajnaparamita, the mother of perfect wisdom, said in the Heart Sutra, form is emptiness and emptiness is form. And when you get that, you're in complete harmony with the universe just as it is. the world around you. And that doesn't end with death of the body. And that timeless state, everything is infinitely okay. And this is the ultimate accomplishment of Manjushri. In the meantime, we want to know what we're doing, how to apply it on both the worldly and wisdom levels. The world of drama and the higher intelligence of your natural mind. Om Ara Sa Nadi Soha. Om Ara Sa Nadi Soha. Om Ara Sa Nadi Soha. Om Arapatsa 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 Nadi Soha. With each sounding of the mantra, you see any part of this mandala, any sentient being or any part of the mandala is the practice, starting with the Sanskrit D in red in the middle, the 5-color sphere around it, of light indicating the union of the 5 elements and 5 states of awareness. 5 jewel crown, what kind of jewels and ornamentation, positions of the body's hands and feet, the lotus, sun, and moon disk, all mother sentient beings individually, collectively visualize. Any part that you can see in your mind's eye, a mental picture, that's the practice. It keeps you present and without the mind straying into the I, me, mind world of drama. Om Arapatsa Nadi Soha. 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 Om Arapasanadi 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 Soha. Then you can break down the emanation of the light energy of the visualization, the sound D, and the mantra itself is blazing through your body and outward like a sun permeates the life support system of our solar system. And then every being in your mandala that you can see or imagine doing exactly the same thing you are and totally equal. Om Arapasanadi Soha. 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 The mantra itself, the A stands for the energy support system of the energy of the universe. Ra is the light energy of everything we see with our eyes and imagine or think with our mind. Pa is the male energy of the method presented by the deity itself, all the method. Sa is the sacredness of the involvement of our situation in union with the environment, world, and all the beings around it. Na is the channel of light energy as it comes into our physical situation, enforces our five elemental makeup of our body, and transforms into the wisdom energy of the mind dealing with all of the conflict of emotionality, judgment, and the environment around it. D is your wisdom mind's nature. It is the totality of light itself. However it's presented in nature or in these visualizations of wisdom mind training as the deity. Any deity, but in this case, Manjushri. It's Manjushri's creation sound. The vibration result is Soha, means it's always available to every being in the universe, timelessly, always increasing in potential. No boundary, no ceiling, no goal. Om Arapasanadi Soha. 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 Om Arapatsa Nadi Soha. Om Nadi Soha. Om Arapatsanadi Soha. Om Arapatsanadi Soha. Om Arapatsanadi Soha. Om Arapatsanadi Soha. Now, this establishes the deity's mandala permeating all 6 realms of worldly existence, all the celestial realms of the worldly gods, the pleasure realms, the light realms, and the voidness of the Brahma realm. All of the demigod world, from the war and war goddesses down to the elemental spirit. All of the realm of the pretas, those that never get what they want or need, deprived spirits. And then the realms of the most abusing, hate-filled, angry, demonic spirit. All of that, those 4 realms of the spirit, and also including all the animal and human worlds on planets, everywhere in the totality of all the universes in space, all the solar systems, all the galaxies, wherever life support environmentally arises. That's the mandala of Manjushri. And for us individually here in this situation on this planet today, is to increase the knowledge, understanding, experience, and realization resulting from practice, actual practice. And so out of compassion and loving kindness, the basis of the practice, we remove the soha from the mantra. And with the Om Arapatsa Nadi, those 6 syllables, we create a visualization of 6 swords pointing in 6 directions, laying flat with Vajra handles, which means this is the handle. All touching at the center point in the center of your heart chakra with the sword with the D upright in the middle. And each of those swords clearing all the negative energy of one of the 6 realms that I just mentioned, the 4 of the spirit world and the animal and human world. And you say the mantras, and flames, blazing light energy equal to the sun shoots out from each of these 6 swords, and the deity Manjushri is the wisdom influence of form is emptiness, emptiness is form. And just that much realization clears the judgment quality of each of these, which produces each of these 6 types of worldly existence. Thinking that way, visualizing that way, Clear the sixth realm of all conflict and see all the beings in their true nature expressed by the sound. Form is emptiness and emptiness is form. Everything totally illusory and interconnected. Om Arapatsa Nadi, 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 Om Arapatsa Nadi. Soha. And remember, whatever visualization you're presenting in this practice, every being in your mandala, infinite in number, doing the same thing, equal to you. No high, no low, no outside, no inside, no past, no future, no separation. Everything totally interconnected. D. Om Arapatsa Nadi, 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 Om Nadi, Om Arapatsa Nadi, Om Arapatsa Nadi, Om Arapatsa Nadi. So, if you're collecting this mantra using a mala, keeping count, that application is to achieve what they call the accumulation of merit or realization of the deity, overcoming the worldly dysfunction of subject-object dichotomy, thinking the subject exists and the object exists separate. And so you say 111,111 times, Om Arapatsa Nadi, 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 Om Arapatsa Nadi. Om Arapatsa Nadi, 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 Om Arapatsa Nadi. Om Arapatsa Nadi, 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 Nadio Morabaza, 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 Nadi. End with one count, one mala, Soha. So that's 100 towards the 111,111 recitations of this mantra as a deity using the sword mandala, 6 swords with the center sword D marked on it. Om Ar Ra Pa Sa Na is on the 6 swords, blades, on the blade. And all this blazing energy clearing all the conflict and neediness of the 6 types of transitory sentient being. And I use the word transitory because they're constantly emotionally in time changing their position, their idea of a self-centered individual with the judgment of good or bad, high or low, or involvement of not knowing. Then, because all of this is illusory in nature, and the true nature of the universe is totally illusory as a light energy program, one can transform all of this drama into occasions for Bodhisattva spiritual practice. To gain the state of relaxed awareness, liberated and free from all of that conflict, self-induced, free of all judgment, non-judgmental mind, totally realized, no judgmental mind, deleted. That's the ultimate purpose of all Lama's symbols as the deities, peaceful or protector, Dakas and Dakinis, however they present them. Then, to finish this practice, go to the ultimate nature of your mind, highest intelligence states of awareness, with the sound D. That is the basis of the vibration of the creation energy of the universe itself. Focusing on that seed soul in the heart in a 5-color sphere of light. Blast that light as the energy of the Buddha field is of clear light, infinite clear light, Amitabha's Buddha field. And see the red D pulsing that light like a supernova throughout all the realms and worlds of the universe. And every sentient being doing exactly the same thing you are. Focus on the D. Blast the light energy through your body and out in every direction like a supernova. Or at least like the sun's energy through our solar system. Sound the D. And when you end this fulfillment stage of tantric practice, which is the complement to the creation stage of the deity and mandala practice, you've created the energy field of Amitabha Buddha. That this infinite light is the nature of the universe. Timeless in its application. We'll use it now to do the long life practice of Manjushri using Amitabha Buddha field image of the Buddha. Amitabha, red in color, hands in the meditation posture, right on top of left thumbs touching, sitting in a full lotus, dressed in the robes of the Lama, on a lotus, 32-petal lotus sun and moon seat above your head. And this symbol represents the energy of infinite light, infinite application of light, the infinite potential represented by our universe, our physical form, and everything that we sensually experience or think about. Then from the Buddha's heart, 4 dakinis representing the earth, water, fire, and air stand in the 4 directions, one on each side, one in front, and one in back, each holding a vase. And Amitabha is pictured holding a bowl of nectar in his hands of wisdom, infinite in realization and application. Then you say the mantra of the Buddha, and as you say it, light flows from the Buddha's bowl, filling the 4 vases of the 4 dakinis, each a different color. White in front, yellow to the right, red behind you, and green to the left. Their vases overflow into your Uma channel at the top of your head and fill your physical form just as it is with this life-sustaining nectar, producing good health and long life. Visualize that way as you chant the mantra, Om Amitabha Deva Hri. Om Amitabha Deva Hri. Om Amitabha Deva Hri. Om Amitabha Hri. Om Amitabha Deva Hri. Om Amitabha Deva Hri. Om Amitabha Deva Hri. And you're filling from the top down with this energy, life-sustaining energy. Om Amitabha Deva Hri. 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 Om Amitabha Hri. Om Amitabha Deva 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 Hri. Then the four wisdom dakinis, representing those elements, disappear into you. Amitabha moves down the central channel into your heart center. And encircled with the five-colored sphere of light, shrinks to a tiny particle of light and blends with the infinite fabric of space. Relax and be present in this state of timeless awareness as space. And as before, you arise from the state, the accomplishment state of the practice as your yidam, inseparable from the lineage and your root guru and all the lamas and lineages of Tibetan transmission. One of the main higher practices of intelligence presented by Kala Rinpoche in the Shankpa lineage was presented to every Dharma center by my translator from my 40-month return, Lama Kunga. And he printed up these aspiration prayers and sent them to 108 Dharma centers. And each of the section of this contents of these aspiration prayers is, first of all, the founder of the Shankpa lineage was Neguma, a Mahasiddhi in northern India who taught Kumpo Naljor and caused the Shankpa lineage to rise as the Dakini lineage, and Kala Rinpoche to be the founder of this lineage for the Western world. So I'm going to read Neguma's aspiration prayer. As she presented this as an offering to her guru, Kumpo Naljor was his name. And his emanations are passed down teacher disciple to my root Lama, Kala Rinpoche. And I dedicate the merit along with Lama Kunga, who is now in my heart chakra as my main translator so that I could understand everything that was presented in the 40-month retreat and actually wrote it all down in English. Neguma's Aspiration Prayer. Herein is contained the oral seal of Mahamudra, which is the aspiration prayer of this wisdom Dakini, Neguma. She was known in Sanskrit as Arya, Pranidhana Rasda Nama Dakini, and in the Tibetan language, this prayer is called the Noble Queen of Aspiration Prayers. And it goes like this. Homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. By the compassion, activity, grace, and glory of this ocean of victorious ones, who exist in the 10 directions and 3 times, may my entire aspiration prayer be accomplished just as I present it and wish it. From this time forth, may I, in all things, please the Lama with my immeasurable devotion. I offer my perfect and completely pure body, speech, and enjoyment, equal to the limits of space. And may this action expand without ceasing for even an instant throughout all my succession of lives. And may the Dharma be heard and explained, meditated upon, and accomplished by me and all my children. In addition, may I not encounter those who would mislead me, evil teachers, evil friends, or evil donors. May I meet with excellent lamas in all times, in future existence, staying in this state of complete enlightenment. And the Tibetan translation is at the bottom. I'll just read one phrase in Tibetan. Sanjay dang cho chu sempa tamche la shel sao lo cho chu du sum galwa gatso yi toje trenle punzim so pa yi dagi mo nam di da tamche kun jitar tapshin du par sho. So each stanza of this prayer is presented in both English and Tibetan. And she goes on in this aspiration to say, in all my births may I be endowed with a good family, good health, an eloquent voice, delightful appearance, strength, and majesty. May my life be long and may I have positive companions, abundant enjoyment and possession. And may this spontaneously be accomplished. May I be venerated by all, wherever I'm reborn, to whatever race, lineage, or family. May all those see, hear, or touch me, or think of me, find me delightful, and never be weary of contemplating me as the Yidam. May I not meet that which is negative, and may I always encounter that which is positive and harmonious and appropriate. May I be a refuge, protector, and hope for all beings, and may I fulfill each and every one's appropriate desire. And so this aspiration prayer goes on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more pages. So to finish tonight's practice, we'll do the dedication prayer, knowing that everything said in Neguma's aspiration prayer is part of the dedication prayer. Ewa di nurdu da, chagya champo drugerne, trowa chinkin malupa, te sala goparsho, sanjay kusum nempai jimla dam, choni megur dempai jimla dam, gendu miche dumpai jimla ki, chitar goma momam juparsho. By this virtue, may all beings realize Mahamudra, and may I quickly establish all beings without a single exception in that state of accomplishment. Through the blessing of the Buddhas obtained the 3 bodies, through the blessing of the unchanging truth of this Dharma, and through the blessing of the unwavering aspirations of the Sangha, that's us, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. May all lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be happy, free of suffering, and established through our practice in bliss and equanimity. Mahalo, Duchiche. Thank you.